irritable syndrome. I got the symptoms of the syndrome when I was 2 years old. I often keep my little finger inside an electric socket. My mom scolded me a lot. But I was curious to know what is this term known as electric shock. I got an idea. I hope you all have a guess. Instead of leaving my little finger inside an electric socket, I tried with my neighbor's house child little finger in it. The guy just pushed me and complained to my mom. That's all the day was doomed. I hope now you all have a guess on the syndrome. Yes, it's the Technophilia syndrome. The place where I was raised was the important reason for the syndrome. If I could describe the place, I could say scientists resided near my home, big rocket statues everywhere, an airport at the end of my street, and Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore. The symptoms spread from my grandfather. Once he bought a broken indicator light and made it to glow. I was amazed by seeing it. Then he gave those things to me. I made it to glow, but the first test was a failure. Then my grandfather helped me and he made the light to glow. I was amazed by seeing the light glowing. Then by inspiring it, I broke a lot of toys and did a lot of mischievous things in the home. Then at last, I learned a lot of new concepts such as Arduino, Internet of Things, virtual reality, and by the side, I did few of the projects and uploaded it in my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel name is Innovation Guys. I uploaded my project videos in it. At one particular time, I uploaded up to 50 projects. Then, I thought of thinking all the world problems because the world is facing a lot of problems today. And I chose the problems according to my perspective. According to my perspective, I faced a lot of problems, but I was not able to scale it. Then I scaled the problems. Problems facing a family, then our neighbors, then the country, then the world. The problems were categorized in this scale. So first, family. What is the problem we face in the family? We often go to tours. And before packing our toothbrushes, we go and check our neighbors that they are available in the home. Because we will get assurance that they will take care of the home. So we will do the same thing every time, whenever we go to a tour. But I'll give you another scenario. You're riding in a bicycle and parking it in your parking slot. And for quench your thirst, you're going to your home for drinking some water. After you drink some water, when you come back to lock your bicycle has vanished. What will be your feeling? This actually happened to me. I was angry at that time. Then I went to the nearest house which had the CCTV facility and then I checked the footage. A stranger took my cycle towards the street. Then I went towards the direction. I walked half mile away to find the next house which has the CCTV facility. As soon as I went there, I got the information that the stranger took the cycle between the intermediate distance. I was very depressed and sad at the same time. I was depressed because I lost my favorite cycle, and I was angry at the same time because people in the street doesn't keep the CCTV camera for their own safety also. I checked the root cause. Then I was concluded that CCTV is not a small cute device like this. It has a lot of processing like this. First you have to get the feed, then it should be processed in a DVR, then you need a hard disk to handle it, then you need some big LCD display to view each and every stream of a camera, then you should have a lot of wire connections, then you should alter your home. So it's going to be a lot of process. So as these processes increases the cost, most of the people don't afford it. But instead of doing this lot of process, I was working in a project known as Raspberry Pi. It's going to be a single board PC. Instead of making this large DVR into this small disk. This is going to be that project. So as you see, the size of DVR is going to be this much big. As you see the size of a DVR, it's going to be this much big. The size of DVR is compressed into a handy size DVR. So you can add a single camera which can be placed anywhere in the home. So as I said, the size increases, the cost increases. It's going to be completely on 2000 rupees. So this project can be affordable. and this has an inbuilt camera. Whenever you place it in somewhere and just give a 5-volt power supply, automatically it will start to stream your video. I worked a lot in this project. I rendered the project as a working model. As compressing the DVR's process into a single board is going to be a very difficult job because it has a large processing data whereas it has a small processing data. Then I gave this product to testing to my mom. My mom tested it. Then I waited for 5 minutes for the stream, but the stream didn't came. I went to my mom and told, why you didn't start the stream? She said that it's very difficult to handle. Then I again replied, just type a 20 lines of coding and click run. It will run. I said, she said that it is not compatible with the persons when it's been commercialized. So for this project has to be an user compatible one. So first, what is user compatibility? See the 2 websites. So the first, it's going to be full of congested text and it's not aligned in order. But if you see the second one, it's going to be beautiful and aligned in order. Each and every option assembling. Whenever you move your mouse pointer, the background also moves. It's going to be an interactive one. So the product which we develop should be interactive with the user. As it becomes interactive, then the person can use it without an user manual, which takes an easy work. In this 2 website, which one would you like? Obviously the second one. Our human brain chooses the better one. After I did it, I inserted a lot of user compatible commands. Then in a single button, you can stream our video. As soon as you place this camera and click your button, the video footage starts to stream directly to YouTube privately. Because YouTube has the option of being an encoder stream, which is an internet camera. Through encoder stream, the stream is going to pass to the YouTube server. Then through the YouTube server, privately, the person who has signed it in the particular Gmail account can view it. Automatically, it's going to be a secure device. Now, this project has a level to be commercialized. Now moving on to the next level. One day morning, it was a good day and it was a fresh breeze. And every day morning, I'll often dump the garbage into the garbage bin. I went and as I dumped it, the garbage man didn't come for a long time, which created an unhygienic and uneasy conditions for the people living around it. People mask their faces, but they never think to take their phone and call the municipal authority. That is the main problem, because the communication between the garbage bin and municipal authority is none. And my idea is establishing communication between them. This can be done by simple sensors. So as you keep a sensor, it will detect the overflow, then through Internet of Things, it will get transmitted. This project is already there, but the only problem is the cost. As it senses it, I said that through Internet it's going to be transmitted. How Internet comes? We have to place a router for each and every device. So the cost of a router is going to be a higher cost and the cost of the device will be lesser cost. So that is the main problem here. So for this problem, I got a solution that, let us take a city which has 500,000 garbage bins. Let us take a particular subdivision of the city which has 100,000 garbage bins. The 100,000 garbage bins are going to be connected with a single server. I showed you Raspberry Pi 0, it's going to be updated version known as Raspberry Pi 3. With that updated version, we can make use of it. As you see that each and every sensor will be connected through wires to a single place. So as it's been connected, if you keep the router or internet connectivity in a single place, it will start to stream it to the municipal authority. So a single person can operate millions of dustbin data. So if the garbage has been overflowed, he will get a notification. As soon as he clicks the notification, the data is getting transmitted to the nearest garbage truck. So the garbage truck can go to the particular place and he can take it and he can make the place hygienic. Automatically, the place gets hygienic. Then I encoded another problem. It takes the people hard to separate dry waste and wet waste. So for this, I developed this device. So it has 2 sections. One is dry waste and wet waste. So what happens is, if a person keeps a particular device, the device is or any of the object is getting scanned, whether it's going to be dry or wet. So the particular bin or the particular door gets opened and we can put it inside it. Automatically we can separate it, and then even this is going to be same, but there is an extra feature in it. So you can see that we have a camera. So if a person doesn't obey the rules, for example, if the garbage has been overflowed, then he throws it out, there is a meat. But if the garbage is empty and if he just throws it outside, this camera will capture his image. Then he will send it to the municipal authority. So the next day, while he comes, alert them that you should not throw it outside, you should throw it inside. It will alarm them that you should follow the rules. So that is how this device works. Now we have completed one of the scale, that's neighboring. Now moving on to the country. When I checked a country, it's going to be the project should be reach each and every person in the population. I found one of the main problems. When I was speaking with my grandparents, they obviously said this word, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. This word tempted me a lot. So I said, although I spoke loud, they always said this word. So I found that deafness is the main problem. So as the aging process goes on, the person's hearing ability decreases. So as it decreases, they can't hear the sounds which is being emitted, so it creates a problem. And sometimes, in some cases, persons who are born are deaf. So it's going to be a sad case. So they're completely being marginalized. They have separate language and they have separate devices to wear and they have any separate headsets. So there are a lot of things separated for them. So for making them accessible to everything is, I found a journal that heavy bass sounds which is being vibrated helps the person. If there is any heavy bass, then the vibrations which is being transmitted hits the skin. As it's getting hit, they can feel the vibration. Automatically they will start to hear the sounds. So our idea is to observe the sound. If there is any surrounding vibrations, it will observe even the small vibrations, will observe it and will amplify it and will boost the sound. Automatically the person able to hear sounds. As I said, another case, that person who are born deaf. So for this case, I have another answer. The person who are born deaf are not able to speak because from their younger age, they doesn't hear the language or the sounds around the surroundings. So for this, we have installed an artificial intelligence features, so which help the person to speak and increase their linguistic skills. Automatically, they can speak to everyone normally. Then, as you have completed the country thing, I am going a bit like according to the international borders. I am going to the international borders now. What are the main problems faced in international borders? They watch day and night. If there is an intruder entering the international borders, then it causes a problem. Now we are in a modern warfare technology. As they can even send unmanned aerial vehicles, that is UAVs, inside the borders. So I thought of developing an UAV as an autonomous feature, but I got a sad news that a drone just bombed an oil tank. I thought that hereafter drone is of no use. Then I got an idea, building an anti-drone. What is an anti-drone? Most of the drones are being controlled by a person, a communication between a person and a drone. Because we haven't reached the autonomous age till now in drones, mainly in military sites. So what this anti-drone does is, it interrupts the signal between the drone and the person. So automatically, as it blocks the radiation, no one can invade our country or the international borders. Automatically, it creates a secure network towards our international border. One device can cover until 5 kilometers, so you can keep multiple devices around it which blocks the radiation. So no one can enter a country now. Even it's not the case for an unmanned aerial vehicle, even it can be an unmanned ground vehicle, an UGV. So even the UGV cannot enter our country. But take in some cases. If a building is having this unmanned anti-drone system, and as I said, we are in a drone age, if a person is suffering in an accident, a drone, our normal process is an autonomous drone takes the first aid kit to the person. So in the center, if there is any problem, as you see this picture, that's going to be a drone which is carrying an medikit, and because square is going to be an anti-drone zone, and the circle is going to be the injured person. So how it works? First, the drone enters the anti-drone zone and it monitors that it's an anti-drone zone. So as it enters, what happens? It will get a small signal interruption. Through the artificial intelligence, what it does is it goes back and it forms its own route in seconds through GPS. So as it forms its own route, it can go by either side because the anti-drone zone can be in 1 kilometer or 500 meters. So it will compute the distance where the anti-drone zone is there, then it will use its own route. So if it calculated a route, then it goes by its own route and it helps the injured person. So automatically this problem has also got a solution. Now we have completed the country. Next we are going to the world zone. What is the basic problem we face in the world? Obviously pollution. Mainly we have the main sector of this air pollution. So as the air pollution is increasing day by day, persons are getting a lot of breathing problems and even young children are getting a lot of problems by this air pollution. For this problem, I have encoded a problem which is the root cause why not people are buying an air purifier, keeping it outside. When I found the root cause, people don't keep it outside, they just keep it inside or just cleaning the air inside. If the whole world invests in keeping this air purifier outside, each and everything is getting solved. But the another problem is, although if they keep it inside and when they use it, they have this filter known as high efficiency particulate air, HEPA filter. They just take this HEPA filter and wash it. Automatically, the carbon particles which is settled in the HEPA filter, they just go travel and it goes into the sink, mixes with the water bodies only. So it's not exactly air filter, it's just transferring the pollution from air to water. That is what the present day's case. So for this problem, I read a lot of journals and I read a lot of books. In that they have given a process known as getting ink from air. As you take a beaker and just fire it below it, you see the small carbon particles which have been settled under the beaker. Just separate it in a watch glass and pour water and test it. You will get a thick fine liquid. So with that liquid, you start to write in your ink pen. You will write well. Automatically, the carbon particles which has been settled in water bodies or in lands, it will go into a papers. It's going to be a useful source. Then you can use those ink for even printers. Even if you keep it in a printer and take a photocopy, then also it's going to be a useful way. Because as it's not going to deposit in waters or some other cases, it is going to deposit in papers, which is going to be a useful source. So at last, the pollution, it is not getting spreaded and the pollution level is also going to reduce. So this can be done by a big organization. Imagine that we have two organizations. So one organization is going to provide the air filters, one organization is going to receive it. So you can go and fix it in the another organization. What happens is, after 1 year we can come and clean the filter. While cleaning we have these carbon particles. We can separate the carbon particles and generate ink. From the revenue we get from the ink, we can replace the filters. It's going to be equal. For example, if we take cost of the filter is somewhat about 200 rupees. So we will get the same cost from the ink also. Because we will get a lot of settlements, we can compensate the money for that ink. So automatically it's going to be a profit for both of the organizations. Now, by implementing this, a lot of air pollution is getting conserved and we can use it as ink. Now, I reached to the world. But why I stopped here? Because we are not stopping the world. There is going to be a large universe outside. Why I didn't went there? One main reason, but I'll say it at the last. I am proud to say that I am the CEO of Future Robotics. Company where we train young children and plant technology in young minds. Why I started this organization is, each and every student will be given training on electronics, but not only that, they have their homework also. Not like writing work, just thinking work. They should think of lot of problems in the same scale, like family, neighbors, country and the world. They should think a lot of problems and at last they should find their own solution. And if they bring to me, I help to make their projects. Then automatically, from each and every perspective, all the problems is solved means, then we will get a good society. If this company expands means, then it creates a good country, then a good world, and we will live in harmony. Why I stopped here? The main reason is, We have to solve all the problems in the world. The world is going very fast. We are in a technology to reach another planet and to revolve around different places and to go faster in seconds. We are in that fast technology. But if we stop in the worldwide and think about the problems which the world faces, and if we solve it, then the world gets a good peace and it has a good place to live. Then the people can enjoy a lot. After all the problems in the world getting solved, then after we assure that 99% of the problems in the world is getting solved, then we can go to the outer space. We can find the problems, solutions. Automatically, we live in a peace at that time. This is going to be my army. This army will develop a lot of technologies, and this is going to be a training camps which is being taken in the summer camps. As this army develops a lot, we can solve a lot of problems. Then, I hope I have spread my Technophilia syndrome to everyone here. And my order is kill every problem, occupy the world with technology. Thank you.